and it's kind of a punk supergroup. Got guys that were in The Offspring, and one of the founding members of Smash Mouth is in it. Dickie's in front. They're doing a show tonight with Me First and the Gimme Gimmes at House of Blues, right around the corner here. So talk to Dickie in a bit, give you some tickets if you want to go to that show. I think that'll be a fun show.
I love Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Well, yeah,
it's
like they're all punk supergroups, right?
Yeah.
Me First and the Gimme Gimmes been doing it for a long time. And Dickie, of course, punk royalty in my estimation. And so we'll chat with him shortly. I think we're getting him, I assume, before they have to do sound check and things like that, because that show is tonight. So if you got no plans tonight and you like that vibe, I'll have some tickets for you later on. It is also no small thing to say that today is, well, it could potentially be an expensive day for one Mary Santora. There is $50 on the line for today's show. If you were not with us for the last segment of yesterday's show, when Mary, seemingly out of the blue, went all in on Bill Squire. She went in.
I did not.
Explain it to me then.
I didn't yell at him or anything.
I didn't say yell.
I offered him.
I didn't say yell. I said you went in on him.
Mary having a superiority complex about what's good comedy and what's not, thinks that I make too many jokes about a certain subject that I will not even bring up.
I didn't even think of it as a superiority complex. It's something that she doesn't like about your approach to some of the conversations here on the show.
I feel Bill is excessive with the sex jokes. I feel like that's like his go-to.
Now,
It's
that is
always
a
his
sliding
first
scale.
thing. And again, that's why I said I feel.
Right.
That's how I prefaced it. So yesterday, after probably the thousandth and eighth joke that he had made about sex, I offered him $50
When we
today.
recalled it, I believe it was the second.
It was the 40th. I offered him $50 to make through the entire show without making a single sex joke, pun, innuendo, any reference to sex, no stories about sex, if he could make it 4 hours of his life without talking about sex.
Why such a small amount?
Because it's not worth more than that to me.
I see.
If he would have said no, I'd have been like, fine. It's not worth $100.
Bill, the likelihood that you will leave the show today with Mary's $50.
Listen, I'm here to entertain the people listening to the show. So if there's a joke that I think is worth making,
It's a $50 joke.
It's a $50 joke, I'm going to make the joke.
I mean, you can't steer the show away from something because Mary doesn't like it.
I understand. And I'm not saying you have to do anything. That is just simply a bet, and that's how bets work.
You're saying there's $50 on the line,
yes,
right?
If you can do this, or if you're willing to do this, or if you want to do this, here's your option. Bill seems pretty stubborn about it, in that I'm being judgmental, and I am wrong, and he can do whatever he wants.
Well, those are two different things. You are being judgmental. I can't say that you're wrong because it's just how you feel, but you are being judgmental, yes. But you got to own that. You have to own that.
Yeah.
You're putting $50.
Is it judgmental, or is it just I don't like this?
No, it's fundamentally you are judging that is a lesser form of comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
So
Then yes.
It's a $50 judgment.
Yes.
Whether or not it will be levied against you, because he's not out anything. You could be out $50. It's not like he owes you $50.
Do it.
Right.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go 4 hours without being sexual?
Now, that's a different thing, too. Can he go 4 hours without being sexual? I don't think so.
On the show.
If you know Bill Squire, you know that he exudes sexuality, right? Pure male animal magnetism. And there's no way around that. You're talking about his verbal choice of comedic content.
Yes.
Yeah.
On this.
Because, boy, I'm telling you what, you want him to stop being sexual. First, get me out of this room because he's going to be all in a froth. And I'll have to go into one of the other studios. Bill, your thoughts on this? This is, of course, it's just a gentlemanly wager.
Yeah, it's a.
He seems mad, to be honest with you. I'm like,
that's okay too.
I don't like being.
There's
judged.
nothing saying that. There's nothing saying that he can't be mad at it.
There is a judginess to it.
But I think he has accepted your terms.
Yeah, a bet's a bet. Let's go.
Right. Now, as I understand it, recalling from yesterday, as I was doing my post-mortem on the show. Is that the other half of this is that I get to play all the fart noises I want.
Do whatever you want. It's your show. I can't even, your name's on the show, brother. You do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, but I know you don't like those either.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I like to know what people like and what they don't like. Now, again, I will never, ever point this show in the direction that the audience might tell you to, because the audience doesn't know what they're talking. They don't know what they like, what they don't like. You can never do that. That's the death of anything creative if you try to do it by committee. But there's $50 on the line, and it could be in Bill Squire's hands.
Or Venmo.
Venmo, that too. I mean, it will eventually be. Bill, have you given any thought to what you'd like to spend that $50 on? Have you prematurely already spent it? Have you thought you going out tonight? You got a show?
Brothers Lounge tonight.
Buy a round of drinks?
Maybe I'll buy a round of drinks at Brothers Lounge for some of the comics.
Yep.
Take a sober person's money, put it towards alcohol. Love that.
The ultimate revenge. There you go.
These are drinks that being
my clean comedy bought.
Prudish bought. Right. All right. Well, we'll see how it plays out, I guess. Mary will have what's the oral equivalent of an eagle eye? She'll have a sharp ear, I guess, to listen. Now, how will we, because I've got other things going on back here during the course of the show, so I'm not always, I'm going to require you to be tuned into that. But
yeah.
Is there going to be a noise that we're going to hear? Because my thought is it's going to happen without Bill knowing it at all.
That's what
That's what you're counting on.
It's going to slip out. It's just his brain won't be able to.
If it hasn't happened in this first segment, it's not happening because there's been plenty of opportunities.
Well, here's what I'm concerned about, though, is that he's going to be so laser focused on that it might, we do, other than remaining within FCC guidelines, this is partially a stream of consciousness show. And so to ask Bill to focus on suppressing his id, that might take him out of the normal rhythms of just having a natural conversation.
That's the point, though.
They say that men think about sex an average of 20 times a day, which certainly seems low. But it's the artificial.
That's like more than once an hour.
It's the artificial suppression of that verbally. That
if you're only awake for 16 hours, that's more than one time per hour. Every 40 minutes.
That's why I said that number seems very low. Seems artificially low.
More examples of Mary wanting to control how other people do things.
How is that about to control anything?
No, I don't think it's about control. I think it's about seeing if you can do. It's a very simple.
Capable.
It's a very simple bet.
Of doing it,
to me, it's a very simple bet. People do it all the time. They go, "I bet you $20 that you can't jump over
honestly,
that parking meter."
It's going to be a piece of cake.
Sure. What's your game plan? Are you just going to be quiet?
No, I'm just going to not do it because it's not that big a deal.
Okay.
Now, piece of cake, he did not mean euphemistically, Mary.
Sure.
Just to be very, very clear.
He's already out. What should I do? Should I scream?
No.
Should I be like,
no.
Sex! When he says it?
No.
When he has a joke?
No, please don't. Please don't scream. Just make notes to yourself or something.
The Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Or whatever smart device you